What's up, guys? So, Ronda Rousey's comment to Sports Illustrated got a little bit of attention, and, well, let me read it to you, and we'll talk about it here. I think a lot of people that are ignorant about MMA think that it promotes violence, when in reality, it really is the most responsible outlet for it. Rousey said, "It's a human instinct to fight, and if you try to suppress it entirely and put everyone in a bubble wrap society, that's when people end up going nuts and shooting movie theaters." That's another portion I wanted to read as well. Let me skip down. Okay, Rousey said that the MMA is not violence for the sake of violence, adding that there is a reason the word art is associated with their sport. If any of those people that had all that aggression built up in them had some sort of outlet, I think that we would have a lot more societal health, she said. I go in there, yeah, I'm fighting, but really what I'm trying to do is outsmart the other person, she adds. It's a puzzle to be solved. I'm not going in there and spazzing out, swinging my hands, lifting weights so I can swing my hands even harder. It's more mental and tactical than anything else. And I think it's the purest, most beautiful sport in the world. So I'll go ahead and link this below so you can check out the full interview. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. I only know from my perspective, and let's see. I know. Going back to the time I was a little kid. When I was even before middle school, I got in a lot of fights, man. I definitely. I'm not sure I had a really good outlet, for. I guess what violence is going on. Not to give a lot of detail, but violence was not uncommon in my household growing up. There's definitely, males in particular, definitely seemed to have some issues going from generations. So, I don't know if it got passed down to me or whatever, but I know I was definitely in a lot of fights in grade school. And I definitely was not, I guess, how can you expect someone that young to be able to really, I guess, internalize what's going on around them and be able to have an appropriate outlet? I don't think it's, I'm not trying to make an excuse for myself, but I'm also not going to answer for myself when I was 9, 10 years old, 11 years old. I feel that I have to answer for the stupid things I did, which was get in fights, beat some people up, and stuff like that. But I definitely got in a lot of fights, and so I definitely needed some type of outlet. And I know for myself, the first time I seemed to have an appropriate outlet is around that time. It was I was living up north. I was in the snow. And I was playing football with some friends in the neighborhood, tackle football. And man, I just remember it feeling so good. I guess not just anytime I made a big hit or something like that, but it just felt soothing in my brain that I did that. It really put me in a good spot. It was kind of as silly as that sounds, but and I wasn't hurting people. It was just playing good football, and not that I knew really good technique or anything then, but just wasn't being a cheap shot or anything. But it just felt good to make tackles and to hit and to I just felt like it's a weird kind of sensation I had, but it was all the troubles I had at home and stuff like that were just forgotten about, and and that was from participating in a, quote, violent sport. It's not like a lot of my erratic behavior ended, though, right after I found football and contact sports. I remember during the off season is when things I tend to stray when I was in my youth, through high school, and that's when stupid things like street fights used to happen, and get into that kind of trouble, and just other stupid things I used to do. It wasn't just fights and everything. It was acts of vandalism, I don't know, like in middle school, and even high school, you know, just that I used to do, just even stupid things. Like I remember I used to go to this, like, well, it's a little bit of a cliff, I don't know, maybe like 30 feet down, and we used to hit cars with eggs, water balloons, other things. I can't remember what else we used at the time, but that was part of that outlet as well. But you know what? It wasn't just because I was busy and tired during football season that I didn't do it. You know, that was probably part of it. But like even on, like, say, the weekends and stuff like that, I never felt the need to have to go out and do stupid things like you know, for an outlet, you know, like fights, like vandalism, things like that during season. You know, because I had that outlet of football that enabled me to find that release and within my brain, and you know, and to help, I guess, work out some of the troubling aspects, you know, that was going on around me. And you know, the thing is, even to this day, as obviously an aging male, or aging person for that matter, anyone, you know, it's just certainly not be male. I mean, Ronda is as female as it gets, but it's, you know, I can't say we, all of us in general, but I think quite a lot of us are wired differently than your average person. To be able to put yourself in a situation where it's, you know, it's a violent situation, right? I mean, even jiu-jitsu, even though there's no striking, not, you know, there's, you know, blood on occasion, but nothing ever, you know, should be intentional. But you know, every night you go to jiu-jitsu, you know you're going to be in pain. You know, at some point, right? You're gonna be submitting. You're gonna be hurting. And you're gonna be doing things that's gonna put you in discomfort. You're gonna be challenging yourself mentally, and so let's face it, guys. Most people aren't wired that way. Most people, there's a reason you in your life, most people that you know, are not involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, you are probably wired differently, and there's something within you that needs to come out, and that's why you continue to show up to your school, and that's the reason I go to. It's just, you know, there's jiu-jitsu, I'm finding, is much more than just, you know, what I learned there. It's just, you know, it's helping me as a person, you know, to work out different things and within my life, and to have a channel. Especially, I tell you, man, it's just, the thing is too, it's so helpful. I could have the worst day ever at work, you know, I could botch a project, have my boss livid at me, and, you know, rightfully so at times, right? You can't be perfect all the time, but I know when I go to jiu-jitsu, it's all going to be worked out. It's all going to be taken care of, and you know, I'm gonna leave that place in a much better. I'm gonna leave my school in a much better mental state than I walked in. There's a lot of times, yeah, I've walked in really, really horrible mood. But I tell you, as soon as I start seeing some of the faces, people I really care about and everything, and it's like, I know they understand me, because I understand them. I know why they're, you know, everyone has their own reasons for joining jiu-jitsu, but I think we're probably more similar than we're different, for sure. And I think, you know, not everyone has the same story how we got here, but you know, for sure. But we definitely have the same reasons why we stay here. I may not agree with every single word that Ronda put here, but hey, you know, this is her perspective and I have my own, right? We all have our own paths we've entered into our combat sports, you know, and everything, but so what? But you know what, I get it. I totally get it, and I think what she said really makes a lot of sense. And the thing is, I don't expect others from the outside to get it. You know, there's a reason that even if you go to just UFC fans, there's a reason they have a sold-out arena, but there's only a few people in that whole facility that actually go through with putting themselves on the line. and putting themselves in the center there. Go back to the gladiator days. Let's face it, man, most people prefer to remain spectators. But I don't know, and not to be the participants and everything. So, but you know what? They have their own pasts. I think with a lot of fighters, BJJ competitors, I think there is something within us all that makes us need our sports. There's not, we can't just be spectators. We have to put ourselves on the line, and we have to challenge ourselves. And it's just the way we're wired. And you know what? I don't care to change it. That's the way I am. That's the way I became. I don't know if it's nature or nurture, or perhaps both. But we're all here, and we're all going to remain here. So anyways, guys, I'm curious your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk to you soon. Ooosss.